Manchester City have lost two crucial games at a very important point of the season. And the worst part is that this scoreline actually flatters Manchester City. If it wasn't for Donnarumma and a couple of tight offside calls, these scorelines could have easily been 5-0 or even more. Now you can blame the backline as much as you want, but the reality is that this is a tactical issue. Pep Guardiola keeps on changing the teams, he keeps changing the system of the attack, and that's why the players don't exactly understand what is it that they exactly need to do. And honestly, this is something which has been going on since the last season. And that brings us to the question, is it Pep's tactics that is killing Manchester City? Now this is how City lined up against United. We saw a 4-3-3 structure with Rodri being the deepest lying midfielder. Bernardo Silva was playing all over the field as a box-to-box midfielder. We had Foden, who was contributing mostly to the attack. But the most important thing is that Pep went with Doku and Antoine Semenyo as the wide wingers in this match. Now the biggest tactical issue arrived when City were actually defending. During the defensive phase, Pep actually went with this extreme high line. But the real issue is not the high line itself. The real issue arrived when these attacking players did not actually press the man who was on the ball. The real reason to play a high line is very simple. You are narrowing down all of this space in which the opposition can attack. So let's say the opposition has the ball and this is the player who is on the ball. Because of the narrowed space, he does not have a lot of passing options available and he can very easily mispass the ball given that he is pressed with a lot of intensity and the other players make these passing options difficult for the opposition. And this exact thing caused City a lot of issues. Now in this kind of a situation, the biggest risk is that the opposition has all of this space where the opposition can just easily play the ball. For example, this player can play an easy ball behind the back line. And because of having pacey wingers, they could just easily go behind this back line. And if you want to avoid that, you want to press this player who is on the ball with as much intensity as possible. Not only that, you would also want to cover up these spaces. Now here this guy will have two options. Either he can try to go long so that your player can win the ball back, and here your counter attack can start very easily. And even a better situation is that this player, because of the press coming in, tries to play this ball and your player intercepts this ball. Now from here you can very easily launch a counter attack. But if the press does not come at the right time or it is coming with slow intensity, this player will have all the time in the world to get this ball behind the back line for this winger to be one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Now if the opposition player wants to play these long balls, you can have a sweeper keeper whose starting position is somewhere around here. He can anticipate this ball and get onto this ball before this player arrives here. But Donnarumma is not that kind of a goalkeeper. He is a good shot stopper, but he is not a sweeper keeper. And this was the issue which we saw throughout both of these games. City were getting counter-attacked easily because the press just did not have a lot of intensity. Another tactical issue which arose from this match is the role of the fullbacks. Now with Pep, it has always been a question mark, what are the fullbacks going to do? Against United, the fullbacks literally did not do anything. They were not contributing to the defense properly, they were not contributing to the attack, and this one tactic from Carrick made it extremely difficult for Pep to do anything about it. Now in an attacking situation, let's say Doku has ball with him, we had Amad Diallo who was joining each and every defensive situation. So if Doku wanted to get into this area, he had to get past Amad Diallo first, then he had Diego Dallo over here. And the same situation was across this wing as well. We had Patrick Dorgu covering for Semenyo and we had Luke Shaw who was dropping back a little bit more. So both the City wingers who are naturally good at dribbling had to get past two United players to get into this area. Now this situation will open up more space for the attacking midfielders to get into this area so that the striker can be on the shoulders of the defenders. But again in this situation, Diallo and Dorgu arrived in this kind of area to block the central passes. So if the attack was coming from central areas, these players were marking the attacking midfielders, and if the attack was coming from the wing, they were just marking the wingers. Now this is where what is it that your fullback is going to do becomes crucial, because without the fullback you are going to have numbers disadvantage. If the fullback plays as an inverted midfielder, you will have this passing option available, you will have enough cover for counter attack so that your attacking midfielder can join your striker to be in this area. But Pep did the exact opposite of this. He wanted Ake to be a defensive player. He wanted Ake to join as the third centre back, while he wanted Rico Lewis to join as an inverted midfielder. Now, this was very specific to one match, but the structural issues do not end here. The backline is extremely fragile against intense press. We see a clear communication gap between these players. But having a squad like Manchester City has, and having the individual quality that the players have, you should not be losing against the teams like Bodo. But when your centre backs are literally walking on the field, especially when they need to track back and defend, this is exactly the kind of result which you are going to get. But everything narrows down to the tactics that Pep is trying to use. He's trying to change a lot of things in every game. The fullbacks have no clue exactly what to do. The wingers don't exactly understand when to press, when to track back, and this is the exact thing which is causing all the issues for Manchester City.